Hello, everyone. This is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and this is your weekly forecast for April 9th through the 15th of 2023. So our quote for the week says, "Allow things to be decided, spoken, and created, not by you, but through you." Deep breath. What kind of open, clean, clear channel are you these days? Let's think about that. And if we're not feeling open and clean and clear, how can we get open and clean and clear and release some of this nonsense that distracts us from truth? Our week kicks off on Monday, April 10th, with Venus entering Gemini until May 7th. So it's a little less than a month. Gemini energy is all about how we think, process, and express what we learn. It's about gathering and disseminating information. It's about change, duality, choices, crossroads, and of course, transition. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, which rules, among other things, transition itself. Transition originally meant going across or over. Sometimes it means changing from one state of form or being to another. What is powerful about this is not in the being here or there, but in being present wherever you are. If you are consciously participating in life, then this is a potent time for you. However, if you are already overwhelmed and your systems are on overload, you could easily short circuit. Then you may have to go down before you can come up and function properly. So consider this time a literal and figurative upgrade to your operating system, your mind, where your values and priorities, which is Venus, are concerned. So of course, we had a big Gemini cycle, 2020 to 2022. And so I have a wonderful light and shadow bullets list for us to meditate on. So for this month, let's just think about these light and shadow aspects of Venus moving through Gemini and how that expresses through you. If you have strong Gemini, Sag, or Virgo, Pisces, then it's personal and it is a reorientation of your values and priorities in a pretty big annual way. But let's just check in. The light expression says you'll know if you're radiating love and beauty if and when you reclaim your authentic voice and express yourself clearly. Maintain the connection to your soul. Lighten up. Be more sociable. Enjoy other people. Express yourself through writing or speaking. Experiment with various ideas without attachment to outcome. Research your ideas. Clarify your thoughts and speak up for yourself. Explore new art forms or alternative mediums of expression. Expand your creative ideas, visionary thoughts, and individual concepts. Do things that support any recently discovered new ways of thinking. Create or improve your story, your personal story, based on your renewed values and priorities. Okay, deep breath. That's when Venus is moving through Gemini in total positive. It is absolutely up and under other influences that are helping us activate those creative potentials within to animate those visionary thoughts and awaken those individual concepts that can only come through you. So if you don't express them, we'll all miss out. And it is definitely time for an upgrade on self-expression. The shadow side says you'll know if you're imbalanced if and when you're flighty and disconnected, ungrounded, argumentative for sport and entertainment, careless with words and about others' thoughts and feelings, game playing or manipulation, scheming or plotting, usually around love or money, overwhelmed with too many ideas or too many details, dogmatic and narrow-minded, being antisocial, intolerant, and opinionated, parroting, which is mindless, thoughtlessly repeating things you've heard other places without checking the facts usually, being pulled between facts and truth, and being indecisive, okay? Facts happen in the brain, truth happens in the heart. Got it? There's a big difference. So this month, our values and priorities, or even our own personal value, might be based on our creative ideas and how we express ourselves more than anything literal or concrete, unless it's actual writing. Now, as Venus hits 0 Gemini, it too links up with Pluto at 0 Aquarius. This is a trine, this is air, this is a quickie before Pluto dips back into Capricorn. So last week we had Mercury, which entered Taurus and squared Pluto in Aquarius at 0, right? So first, last week we had an awakening of the mind and a challenge to grow. So something in that previous list was making me think about the neural pathways and how deep those grooves get when we run the same scenarios through our brains over and over and over. So there was a break to realign in that mental zone last week, which is allowing this ease and grace between Venus and the values and priorities this week. That being said, a little bit later in the week, Venus is going to square Saturn. So Venus this week is so important in Gemini. It's having an ease and grace transformation with Pluto, but a challenge to the reality with Saturn. So again, I think we're all kind of waking up to our own next level, whatever that may be. And in that regard, certain things that are truly done and over are just obvious. So it's easy, it's already run its course. You can feel it. There's no doubt around that. But where the challenge to integrate the new reality is, we've got to do probably some more cleansing and clearing in order to build a foundation and structure that'll be strong and long lasting. Think Saturn, right? But first things first, on Tuesday, the 11th, Venus will trine Pluto in this air element. So it's all very mental, a transformation of the value of your ideas, a transformation of your personal individual thinking in certain ways. Because of that Gemini, new ideas, new thinking, new perceptions, new conceptions are available and possible. And you can go deeper to your soul self and get some customized answers for yourself. I love that. Anytime Pluto's involved, the intensity levels go up and you are able to hear, feel, or sense your soul self more clearly than usual. Venus brings up that which is most important to you personally, your individual values and priorities, where your relationships and resources are concerned mainly. This is an easy angle, making purification and transformation smoother than usual. So what are you ready to change? How have your values and priorities changed completely in the last year or so? Use this activation to deepen your connection with those you love most and allow or encourage the relationship to evolve to a totally new level. If you're working on your relationship with money or self-worth specifically, then this activation is a good time for prayer or ritual that supports positive change and your vision of the future. Pour any intense emotions or revelations into art of any medium or do a vision board, but give expression to the depths you recognize as coming to the surface of your conscious awareness. This energy tends to intensify relationships and or emotions. You may feel extremely drawn to someone emotionally as well as physically. You may feel the intense need to express your love mentally, emotionally, or physically. This energy is great for bringing deeper insights to the surface, which ultimately should strengthen any relationship. A new relationship started under this influence will usually have an intensity about it, as will any form of creative expression, artistic or otherwise. Deep breath. Now, this is kind of juicy happening on the same day, Tuesday the 11th, as we have this beautiful transformation of consciousness and values. The sun initiates conjuncts Jupiter. Once a year, they get together. But Jupiter's only in a sign for a year. So this is the time it's linking up in Aries before next month when Jupiter moves into Taurus. That's it. Once in 12 years, we get to work this reset in our Aries department where we can expand the vision around our identity, purpose, direction, and goals, aspirations. It's all about you. Take advantage of this month of Aries. I give everyone permission to be selfish. It is not selfishness in its usual shadow state. This is self-preservation, which is essential and the first law of nature. And you should always check in with yourself at least once a year. I think it's more like once a week and once a month, but I understand life gets hectic and these deeper dives take a little time and energy, and you got to sit aside and really go inward. But you're so supported for cultivating a completely, radically new vision for your world, for your individual personal. Venus and Sun are personal, okay? Jupiter is social, but it's also our story of our lives, what we believe to be true or possible. Sun is like fuel and energy awakening within you that Jupiter's making bigger, right? So once a year, these two link up and expand your life and consciousness. It's time to infuse your personal story with a new level of individual truth. You have learned and experienced a lot in 1 year, and now you are supported to integrate and apply all that you've discovered. This energy expands your sense of self and inspires you to new heights within. It indicates that it is time to go to the next level and gives you optimism and faith that you need to try new things and/or learn something new. The highest expression of this energy is a fiery passion to be the best. The lowest expression is arrogance and self-righteousness. This is a powerful pair of energies joining forces, so watch for opportunities to grow and expand your consciousness as well as improve your circumstances through your own efforts and expertise. This is your consciousness awakening with the sunlight, expanding with Jupiter, going deeper with Pluto, focusing on what you care about with Venus. This whole little day is so juicy and personal and good for expanding the vision of what you're calling into being with your own energy, right? I guess the last thing I would add is play with those creative expressions, play with those new and different kinds of mediums of expression. If you're used to doing the same thing all the time, like I write, I'm a writer, I'm a linguist, I love words. That's what does it for me. But I'm learning that it's actually fun to create these pictures, to create these videos, to create these visual learning tools for you because it's a different medium for me. It's more, I don't feel like an expert, so I feel like a novice having fun. But the fact that it does end up serving you all in the end is a beautiful thing. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm referring to those goddess videos that I made. So maybe I'll put those in at the end of this blog just as a refresher and give you all a chance to check in and check out my other ways of expressing. And take heed, maybe there's a medium you'd like to try that you don't have to be the expert. You don't have to be perfect at it. Ye's always teaching us. She done made money off of her doodles, okay? Off of just playing around, just messing around, allowing spirit to move through you in a creative way. Starting on Wednesday the 12th, and from there on, it'll be the second and fourth Wednesday every month. I'll be getting together with Nasa Bawa to do Wednesdays with Odu, which is divinations that we're going to go deeper into, guidance for the week. Well, bi-monthly guidance, I guess I should say. It's going to be live on what I don't even know the service she uses, but you all can watch us on YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook all at the same time. It's a miracle to me. I keep meaning to ask her what that technology is and how she does it, because I am trying to upgrade my technical skills, which are not that good. And she's a Gemini, so she's a natural at it, right? But I'm going to bring the energetic support to these divinations, and if you're into it or the Yoruba tradition or Ifa, then you will be right at home getting these deeper insights to guide you through your life. We have so much fun when we're together as well. And it just so happens that's Wednesday at 8 o'clock Eastern, which is 5 o'clock Pacific. I meant to mention that. On the 13th, which is Thursday, is my usual monthly Venus circle. This month, we are reclaiming at the solar plexus in Gemini, and the archetype is the liberator. And we're coming down to the wire with this particular Venus cycle, whose theme was Capricorn and Libra. So we have literally spent the last 15 months recalibrating our roles and responsibilities and reimagining our partnerships, relationships, and collaborations. So this is probably a good place to throw that in. We are calling in a higher level as you evolve, as you rebirth your consciousness, as you awaken to your own next level. We are definitely calling in more reciprocal relationships, creative collaborations, profitable partnerships, flourishing friendships, conscious contracts, and constructive communities. That's my 6 so far. I keep adding to them. But Nasa is going to be my special guest this month, and she has lots to share to help keep us on track as we awaken to our power and our self-expression and that next level of creativity. So juicy. Please join us Thursday, April 13th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. That will be a Kelly conference call. Y'all know I'm old school, okay? I only do Zooms if I got stuff to show you. which I'm working on because NASA's so inspiring. She puts together these brilliant presentations that I dream about doing. But one of these days, we'll see. We're rubbing off on each other, I'll tell you that. We're learning from each other in brilliant ways. I love it. God is so good. God is so good. So those are the 2 live events this week. Next week is the money pouring. And so if you want to do that, you have to join Ye's Patreon for $5 or more. But we are turning up the thermostat on our wealth. And she does way more than money, y'all. Okay, we are learning for real prosperity principles that we can apply across the board. So that's next week. Meantime, we have another activation on Friday the 14th. This is the one where Venus squares Saturn. So she's got ease and grace with Pluto, but a challenge with Saturn. That means ease and grace with the internal soul work, transformation, purification, all that's ease and grace this week. But to apply it to our reality and to make these changes in real time, we know is a little more challenging. Energetically, this can make you feel very cool and detached with your loved ones because Venus is our relationships. It's time to take stock of those relationships and really evaluate the level of balance between giving and receiving. Business or personal, relationships must have a balance of give and take. You may feel more aware of your true independence in life and start reevaluating the need for certain relationships at this time. This energy pushes you to dig for your individual fortitude and determination to live according to your own personal values and priorities. So corrections or adjustments may be necessary and fairly obvious at this time. Okay, so see how when your values shift, your reality has to shift too? When you change something about what your priorities are, then other things have to adjust. You may feel a little lonely, depressed, or disconnected, but that's just the universe's way of forcing you to question or assess your current relationships, how you interact with others, and how you allow them to interact with you. It's really good to periodically evaluate even the strongest relationship and check the foundation. And that's real. I've been with my husband for 31 years, honey, 1992. And we renegotiate on a regular basis because we're growing and changing as individuals as we grow together. And sometimes we need to reorganize our priorities as a couple, right? Or as partners. If we have that in business, you know, I love an annual reset in any relationship I'm doing because that gives us all a chance on an annual basis to sort of clear the air, let folks know where you've grown and changed, and maybe you don't think that way anymore. Maybe you don't have those needs anymore. Let's do that. Let's not put it off. Don't give in to ego-based fears, focusing on the lack and limitation or what is not working, but instead build on your strengths and honor the goodness that you have created together as well as within yourself. This is the best time for intentional solitude because the insights that you acquire through this process will help you down the road to stabilize your future. Okay, deep breath. Our last activation of the week happens on Saturday when Vesta enters Taurus until June 22nd. Vesta represents you, the individual, in its purest, most sacred form. It's the part of you that can focus deeply or dedicate completely to a person or project, sometimes to the exclusion of other aspects of life. It's where we can be a little extreme at times, but up in the sky, she is activating all of us to initiate a new cycle of making Taurus, food, sex, and money, not just important, but sacred. Okay? Sacred food. What is that to you? Nourishment, quality, whole foods, no pesticides, no GMO, genetically modified food where they're trying to mass produce what usually takes time to grow. Taurus is about slow and steady wins the race. Sacred in our bodies, the earth, all the good Taurus stuff. Sex, again, a check-in with your sexuality, sensuality. Are you having a good, pleasurable experience in your physicality? Money, not just cash money, which is great. The purest form of money is cash, but think of it as flow. We want energetic flow, creative flow, and cash flow. So we want the quality money, not fast money, not slick money. We want long money. We want steady money. We want consistent flow there. And we don't want to sell our soul to do it. So how can we upgrade and make that aspect of life, finances, which can be boring and superficial, but if you go deeper, it's your wealth. That's sacred. So it's always a time to reorganize priorities when anything hits Taurus. And of course, whatever you deem most vital to your existence and allows you to experience pleasure in the body. It's all connected here. This is a time when we can get grounded and reset our own self-value and self-worth. And we check in around our material security and creature comforts. It's an excellent time to beautify yourself, your environment, or the world. We are reminded to create value in all that we do, experience, and express. Create that value. Again, not the superficial, once-over, top layer of beauty of what it looks like, but what is it in its core that serves you? This is also a great energy to initiate a new 4-year cycle of dedication to living a life that better reflects your true values and priorities. Deep breath. So the last time Vesta was in Taurus, let's take a quick look. June of 2019, so 4 years ago. So how has your food, sex, and money been going for the last 4 years? How has your comfort and safety within your physicality been going for these 4 years? How can you reset that and reclaim something at a higher level and move in a whole new direction? Okay, so that's it for activations this week. This week we have events on Wednesday and Thursday, both at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Next week we have the money pouring, which is at 7 p.m. Eastern, which is 4 p.m. Pacific. A little earlier for money pouring with Yeye. And that's Tuesday. And then Thursday, I have the free monthly community event around our Aries Libra eclipses. And I know y'all want to get in with that. So join us there if you can. And Saturday the 22nd is Yeye's birthday/book party, which I know is just going to be off the charts because her other book party was, and it wasn't even her birthday. So we're going to celebrate and have some fun. Meantime, as promised, I threw those goddess videos in at the bottom of my blog just to remind you that you have additional support from Kelly out there on that YouTube channel. Let me know what you think of my attempt at another expression, another creative expression. My personal favorites, I guess I would have to say, would be Lilith and Hathor, but I love Hecate. Artemis was my first one, so she's not as good in terms of quality of what I put together because I was still learning when I did Artemis. And then Oshun, I couldn't make up my mind to cut any pictures, so where I might have slowed down and lingered on certain pictures, I was squeezing too many extra pictures in there. So I'd probably do that one differently too, but they were still fun, and that's what I want to encourage you all to do. Try a medium that's out of your comfort zone. That was way out of my comfort zone. And play with it. Make it fun and interesting and have no attachment to whether people like it or not. I'll be honest, the Hathor video has got, 3,000 views, some crazy thousands. None of my videos go over 100, y'all. So lately, my forecasts have been going over 100, but just barely. Nothing in the thousands. So for whatever reason, Hathor has gotten the most hits and the most feedback. And she is probably the most well done video of. But enjoy that for fun this week, especially if we are going deeper with our imagination and cultivating this new story and claiming a new level of functioning, of living our lives in our day-to-day in our real time, right? So join us when and where you can. Have a fantastic week. Reach out if you need to. This is Kelly Beard of Karmic Tools signing off.